Intuitive Edge. Welcome to my channel. This is where we take an intuitive look at what's going on in our world. So I want to take a look at a recent story that's come in the news in the last few weeks, and that is Asian Giant Hornets. Now, these little critters are quite large. They're about 2 inches long on the body and about a 3-inch wingspan, so they're nothing to be trifled with. They are an invasive species, and they've been spotted in Washington State. Now, a lot of people are wondering, is this going to be a big issue? These hornets do target honeybee populations, and they can be quite devastating. So I'm going to ask the tarot and kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. So I'm going to shuffle up the cards, and we'll be right back. Okay, so before I laid out the cards, I took a look at this intuitively just to kind of get an idea of what this is about, these hornets. I saw them coming. My question biggest is how did they get here? I saw them coming by cargo freight and somehow got in a shipping container, it felt like, and landed at one of the ports in Washington State. I think that's where they originally came from. I do see them spreading east, and I heard the word destructive, which we know. Now, my mind settled over in Wyoming for some reason, and especially the Yellowstone area. But what I saw these hornets is that they like to target a certain type of invasive beetle, which is actually kind of a good thing because these non-native species that come in, they can kind of take over certain things. And I saw this beetle, like a bark beetle or something, and I saw these hornets fighting with them and killing them and attacking those beetles. So that's kind of a good thing, but because those beetles, I think, if it's the bark beetle, again, I'm not sure which kind of beetle this is, but some of those beetles can be destructive to the tree populations. And so I see these hornets kind of going after those, which is good. But they also go after honeybees, which we don't want because we need to protect our bees. They're under enough threat as it is from colony collapse disorder and those kind of things. So I do see it's bad for honeybee population and other native insects, like praying mantis type of things. I don't know if they go after those, but they seem to kind of like the fight. They are an aggressive, it feels like. And I also got into North Dakota also. I saw the hornets mostly in the west. I didn't see them going too far east. Maybe it's just too soon to see that. But basically as far as the Dakotas is kind of where, and Yellowstone for some reason, really big there. And I also got something kind of interesting, and I don't know how to explain this, what I got, but maybe I'll get into that when I get into the cards, because there's another aspect to why they're here, and it's kind of in a more spiritual type of vein. So, okay, so let's get into the cards. What do the cards say? So I had a list of questions that I wrote out. So the first question out is, how did they get here to the USA? Now, originally I had felt intuitively something on a cargo ship. But this card is kind of interesting. We have a messenger. Now, interesting, this page, this person is sitting down and they're cultivating this plant. And it feels as though, to me, that this hornet, somehow, maybe some of them, maybe a group of them, maybe a nest, I don't know. But it was like I was drawn to this person. I felt like they were inside a bag or some type of, made it into some type of plant, something to do with agriculture or plants. And they tucked away or hid out, somehow got in a bag, and then that got put on a shipping container and that got sent over. And then that's how they got out. Anyway, something like that. Okay. All right, next question was, how big of a problem will they pose? Now, not exactly the bad. We got the Judgment card on here. Now, this is kind of interesting too, because as I was talking about kind of a spiritual significance with this, and we see the judgment card, kind of the final judgment. And this is on how big of a problem will they pose. I do see with that judgment card, major arcana, that they will be an issue. How big of an issue, it does seem like it will be an issue, at least locally and regionally in places. It does feel like they'll have like little branches that go out from localized areas, but like there would be like hubs, like certain areas will be like more so than others, but they have a little bit of a range from like a central hub. But there will be pockets, okay? Pockets. Not going to be like everywhere. It's going to be in like sections or pockets of the country, okay? What do we need to know? Now, we have another messenger on this, the Page of Swords. And this tells us to guard against truth versus fiction, fact versus fiction, and being discerning, using discernment. Although they can kill a human, from what I understand, it would take several stings, like to be attacked by a group of them before unless somebody's like severely allergic or something. So there's some hype about it. So this is like, get the facts and not the hype. That's kind of what that card is saying. Okay. All right. So what should be done to stop their spread? Now we have temperance, moderate. And this is a major arcana. I do think there's energy on trying to help eradicate them from becoming a big nuisance. Setting the traps is probably helpful. They are not a native species here, so like again, it's gonna upset the apple cart in terms of the local ecology. I don't think it's going to be as bad as it may seem or bad as it may look, and that's based on the next card. This is the outcome of this hornet infestation. We have the reversed Eight of Cups. Reversals, there's different theories that people have on this card reversed. I kind of tend to think of this card as that things you have may be bad, but it's not as bad as it seems. Like there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's not as terrible as it looks. But that's not to say that things shouldn't be done. Looks like there should be some steps taken with this. Now, I just kind of asked about, what is the spiritual significance of this? I kind of sensed, and again, this is where I'm going to try to explain this, what I'm feeling and sensing with that. Because of the chaos that our country is going through right now, sometimes energetically, the chaos now could be drawing more chaotic energy. And this felt, when I felt into it, like almost like a plague of hornets. Like this infestation was invited here, not on purpose I don't think it was purposefully brought here, but the energy, the chaotic energy kind of drew it, if that makes sense. We have a lot of destructive energy right now going on in our country, as you well know. We have the destruction of the economy happening, destruction of jobs, destruction of families, destruction of lives, people losing hope, committing suicide, people ending up destitute, broke, poor, starving. And when you think of this murder hornet coming in, they come in and they kind of wipe things out too. So it's kind of like energy. It's similar, and these energies attract, okay? Now, is this a direct result of what the country's going through? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that these energies are similar, and they're attracting. That's what I'm getting. That's the spiritual significance of that. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. She is a card of really needing to be grounded and rooted. And I got, when I looked at her, is to pay attention, to notice your surroundings and see how we fit into the whole picture. You know, no one person is in this by themselves. What affects one affects the whole. We're all affected on some level, be it what we're going through economically and what we're going through with things like this that might come up. So that's that in a nutshell. Okay. The underneath card was the Lovers reversed. Lovers card reversed. Card of partnering. Card of strategizing, working together on something. And having it reverse, I think there may be some challenges. But looking back at this card as well, this reversed 8, I don't think it's going to be as drastic as it seems. I think we will be able to come to a better handle on it, but it's going to take some work. We've got the 2 major arcanas on those questions of how big of a problem will it be and what should be done. So that's all I have for this. I appreciate you stopping by my channel. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.